Today we're speedrunning Deepest Sword. This is a game where we're a pretty tiny knight and we have a very small sword that we're going to use to get around. You can see cliffs like this, we have to use it to be able to actually climb up it, and then you're going to see this dragon who has our cat, and we're going to have to stab the dragon, that way we can rescue our cat. Unfortunately, our sword the first time is going to be too small, so we come back with an even bigger sword. But our sword isn't the only thing that upgrades, so does the map. So now there's going to be different paths we have to take, and this is also where the length of the sword starts becoming a problem. We have to play around different things, make sure that we actually take the right path in certain situations. Now we're going to be climbing up this dragon for the second time. Of course, she comes up, she says here to try again, only says it tickles. Pretty rude and completely destroys us, but you know we're coming back with our third sword. Even the guy who made it is saying careful of its weight, and now we have to go into an even deeper place. This time we're going to take the top path. Bottom path is a bit too small for us to actually go through this time, and now we get over to the blue area, and for this one we're going to want to take another top path. This is a little bit harder than it looks to actually make sure you don't fall down, but we just have to make our way over, and of course we're making it to the dragon again. Each time this last section also gets a little bit different, just the strategy used to get up, especially once we get a very big sword. But of course we're gonna go ahead, try to stab her. She says she felt something, so you know, we're making some progress. Now we're on a length 4 sword, and even the person who made it is saying it could start to be troublesome, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Again, we're gonna take the top path, making sure we don't fall down into the bottom at all. Now with this sword, we're gonna use some new movement. Instead of doing a complete circle, we can start to go up and then stop ourselves and get a little bit of height to go up small cliffs. You could also see right there that we have a new strategy, and you can see something similar in this section where we're going to start going up the cliff using our momentum to make it up there, and that technique is so nice when you're able to get it first try. But onto the dragon for the 4th time, and this time she's starting to get a little bit worried. She realizes that, hey, we're getting kind of close to actually killing her, and she is going to kill us for the 4th time, but finally after that we get the deepest sword. This time it's going to be nice and golden, but of course that is going to mean the labyrinth gets harder. Now right at the start, I'm going to reset from the last checkpoint once I make it over there, just so I can reposition my sword and be able to make it up this top path a little bit easier. Then for this blue part, what we can do is a new cool strategy where we're going to get the sword in front of us and then stick it into the ground so we can lift ourselves up. And we're going to do that exact same thing for this next part, so I want to make sure the sword's in front of me, then we can just stick it into the ground, and again, we're going to do that. Now we're on to the final and hardest part. So what we have to do here is get it right into there, and we have to get enough momentum to make it over to this cliff. Then we're going to stick the sword in the ground again. We're going to catch ourselves. We just barely did that time. That was a little bit scary. Then for this next part, I want to position myself perfectly. That way we can get up here, but we're going to stop ourselves, use this where we slowly get a little bit farther, make our way to this floating cliff, and just barely make it over there as well. Now my goal for this speedrun is a sub 3:30, so we're almost there. We just have to be a little bit faster. This last section can be a little bit tricky sometimes, like you can see right there. It is getting me worried, but finally we made it through, and all we have is this final dragon section. So you can see this sword, it is very hard to lift ourselves up now with it. It is so much weight, but we make it over to the dragon. We can see our kitty that we finally get to save, but we got her. We stab her straight in the heart, and we get the 328 where we rescue our cat, and it puts us around 260th place. Next up, we're speedrunning Pineapple on Pizza, which is another free game, and this time we're going to be doing the 100% speedrun. So you can see we get our first achievement just from playing the game, and the second one from going and seeing the lady who's holding her baby. Now we're going straight up the mountain until we make our way over to this volcano. There are people all around it, and they have no idea what's about to happen. You can also hear the music going. This game has amazing music, but we're going straight into the center of the volcano. Thankfully, we might be immortal because we don't burn up. And while we're waiting for this volcano, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. But we finally make it out, and now we're gonna be going through this island while there's volcano lava coming all throughout. We're gonna get a couple more of these achievements, the lava one, the cliff one, the jumping from the cliff one, and we're also gonna go check out this statue. So we do have to be really fast right here. I mean, it is a speedrun, so obviously we will. But along with that, the lava is gonna destroy the entire island, and we have to get all these achievements before all the boats leave. Now, next up is gonna be these two people on the bench. And by the way, I haven't mentioned it yet, but just look at how amazing all these people are at dancing. Unfortunately, they are not gonna have smiles on their face for too much longer. But look at that guy. Look what he's doing, and nobody's even around him watching. If I wasn't on a timer, I'd definitely be watching you. But you can see, and you can also hear all the screams happening now. I'm not going to worry about it though, because I'm going to make my way over to the turtle, also the skilled dancer, and we see this whole cornfield. There's going to be this person who's by the birds. He is absolutely terrified, as he should be. Then we'll go into the cornfield, which is being made into popcorn, so we can hear all the popping sounds. I mean, at least that's nice. Now we come over here. Unfortunately, there is an old lady on the ground. I hope she's okay, but I still don't have time to worry about that because we only have one more achievement that we have to do before we get to the boats. I'm gonna go destroy that person's limbo thing and then finally run my way over to the boat. Let these people push it for me. I'm not even gonna help, but we make it on. We get the boat achievement, and after waiting a tiny bit longer, we'll also get escape. And that is gonna be our speedrun done in 2 minutes and 2 seconds, but the game isn't done just yet. Now we did escape, or at least we think. There's some person who's trying to swim, get to us, and then a shark comes and eats them, so that kind of sucks. Then the volcano is gonna bring over these rocks, which destroys all the ships. Finally, it does this whole view over to the island, and you can see why it's called pineapple on pizza. And yeah, that's the game, and it's going to give us 4th place on the leaderboards. Finally, our last speedrun for the video is going to be just one boss, and this game is so charming. You can see that we're a little blue guy, and we got this one boss who's going to get his face turned on from this mirror. He puts on a magician hat. He looks amazing. And now here's where the speedrun actually starts. Now there will be 4 different phases of this fight, and the first one's going to be the easiest. He starts out by throwing some cards, and we have to hit the glowing sections of the floor to do damage to him. Next up, he's going to have the laser attack, and this one isn't too bad to dodge. We just have to stay out of the way, but sometimes it will give you an unlucky situation where there will be a laser around where one of the glowing panels is. Thankfully, we didn't get it that time. Now, main strategy for the first 2 phases is going to be staying in the middle right here, because that way we can either go left or right depending on where the glowing panels are going to be. So yeah, just stay in the middle. That's the easiest way to go fast, and we are almost done with his first phase right now. He'll use the card attack one more time. We just need a single more hit, which comes straight to me, and he starts getting damaged. It will also give us a heart. We didn't really need it, but it's going to go away either way, so might as well take it. Then this boy, he goes ahead, does the flower trick. Honestly, I'm very impressed, but now he's going to get a new attack where he uses his mind to spawn roses all over the place. Sometimes that can be a pretty difficult attack, but the first time, not too bad. He's also going to start with the card attacks using both hands at the same time, and with this laser attack, he's going to start moving, which is a little bit scarier. Oh, and he also has one more attack in this phase, which is going to be this coin attack where he sends these coins. You can break them by hitting into them 3 different times, which we're going to want to do whenever we can because they can get in very annoying places. Overall, the fight is starting to get a bit more difficult, but it's definitely not the most just yet. He's going to use this laser attack again. I can just dodge out of the way, get that last one right there, and get our next heart, which we don't need. But here is where the fight really gets hard, because he's going to take out his magic wand, and now there are 2 of us. So basically, our movement is mirrored. The blue one cannot go to the left side of the screen, and the green one can't go to the right. Instead, I have to make sure that I'm paying attention and keeping my movement good. It is a lot harder on your mind than you may think, and especially with this attack, this can go very badly. I have to make sure that when he's moving, that doesn't happen, but only 1 hit. That isn't the worst thing in the world. Now we'll do coin, which there's my second hit. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon, but still, we're doing pretty good, and I'm not going to worry about it too much, especially because my mind usually needs a little bit of time to adjust to having 2 of these guys. But we're almost to the end of this phase. We're over halfway. That card attack is kind of scary when it's coming from both angles and you have both your little guys, because I have to just barely dodge those attacks in so many places, but we will get that one. He's going to use coin one more time. I'm not even going to worry about destroying those because we already know that he's about at his end, and that is going to be 3rd phase done, which means we only have 1 more. But of course, this is definitely going to be the hardest because this time he's going to transform himself. So now there's 2 of him along with 2 of us. And these guys are going to keep hitting us with attack after attack. Like you can see right here, they do not give you any time to rest. And I'm going to have to make sure that things just kind of go well. Like with this card attack, first the regular guy's going to do it, then the green guy's going to do it. I just have to dodge out of the way. They're going to do these laser attacks. Thankfully, these aren't moving lasers, because if I was doing with both of them doing moving lasers at the same time, that'd be terrifying. We get one hit right there on us, but that is okay. And for these coins, we now don't only have to worry about coins going to the blue side, but the green side as well. By the way, I should mention, like all the games in this video, this one's free too. It's going to be on Cool Math Games if you want to try it out. So all these speedruns are free and they're all really fun speedruns. I do recommend them. But finally, that should be our last hit. We get him down. Now we just have to hit all of these things, get some more points up because we might as well. And finally, we're going to take out this boss. All the rabbits start spawning out of his hat, and that is going to be the end of the speedrun. And on the congrats screen, you see we got a 351, which is tied with 53rd place on the leaderboards. Alright, subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye.